Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the tutorial of fog computing. This is a group assignment of our course Management Information System having group members Junaid Ahmed, Turab Ali, Waqar Siddiqui and myself Muhammad Haris Faruqi. Our course advisor is Sayyid Faizan Ali Awal. So without further ado, let's start. The contents that we will be discussing in this video are introduction of fog computing, its origin, who introduced this, and what is the definition of it and how it works. Next, the need of fog. Why we needed fog when we have cloud? The primary reason of it. Third, characteristic of fog computing. Fourth, a simple comparison between a cloud and a fog and how fog is better and how it increases the efficiency of your business. Next, architecture of fog. The key components required to implement fog computing. Then, applications, real-time examples, and in the last, we draw conclusion what we have learned and understand from this video. First thing first, introduction. Introduced by Cisco system to ease wireless data transfer and to free unnecessary load on memory. How it congestion less. The second point. Fog computing, also known as the edge computing, is a model in which data processing and applications are concentrated in devices at network state rather than the existing system, all data on the cloud. So some data will be on the edge of the network and some data which will be very less used or frequently less changes will be on the cloud. Third point, in fog computing, devices communicate peer-to-peer to efficiency, share and store data and take local decisions. For example, is a uTorrent. So in uTorrent here there is a peer-to-peer discovery in which, say, for example, I am downloading a film. So a little bit of film that has other have downloaded but I didn't, so we will share, and we don't have to go to the cloud or go to the servers where it is originally uploaded. A simple three-way hierarchy diagram. There is a cloud at the top. In between the cloud and in the last devices, there is a fog. So what happens here? If I have to do a little less frequency changes, we have to go to up to the cloud. But for frequently changes items and regularly, for example, I am SMSing or transferring data on network stage, I will go to the fog and it will be less delay and faster. Second, need of the fog. Fog computing addresses applications and services that do not fit in the paradigm of the cloud. Second, existing data protection mechanism in cloud computing such as encryption is failed in the data from the attackers. Obviously, when you go out of your network, there are more chances that you will be attacked by the hackers and your data will be corrupted. Third, the main reason why we need fog. It is the high latency, because distance is more, so latency will always be higher than the fog. Bandwidth required will be very high as every data will be uploaded to the cloud. Security shortcomings, as we discussed earlier. Fourth point, fog computing keeps data right where the Internet of Things need it. Now we move on to characteristics of fog. Edge location awareness and low latency. So obviously the latency will be low as the distance will be less. Also the congestion will be less because not all of the data will be on the cloud. Because of that, processing will be faster and delay will be less. Geographic distribution. The services and application objective of the fog is widely distributed. Real-time interaction. Fog computing requires all real-time interaction for speedy service. So interaction between the two devices is must. Heterogeneity. That means fog can be implemented in multiple platforms so that a wide variety of environments can use it. For example, iOS, Windows, Linux, etc. Interoperability. Fog components must be interoperable in order to give wide range of services like streaming. That means the devices must be more devices connected and more range of services can provide. Now we go to comparison, cloud versus fog. Reduction in data movement across the network resulting in reduced congestion, obviously, because less data will be moved to near locations and the less data will be go to the high locations, so less data will be there. Congestion will be less. Second, elimination of bottlenecks resulting from centralized system. For example, if my internet is not working or my internet speed is very slow, I am limited. I cannot get data in required time. Delay will be more, and my business will be just shattered. Third, improve security of encrypted data as it stays closer to the end user. Since it will be near to the devices, so less chances that the attacker will attack and corrupt your data. So there is a comparison. So here we see if is there a broken link, then the alarm is on, and first it go to the cloud data center. But since the link is broken, so it cannot go. Then it takes another route, and then there is a heavy traffic alert. Go to the cloud, and there it redirects the all commands, and then it goes to the other power plant and says, so we have to do from different source. We have to produce electricity and give to the city. It takes a lot of time, and power shortage will be much bigger time. But in this, it never goes to the cloud. It stays in the fog, and the fog first take local decisions, then it tells the other station of the fog, and again it produces this electricity from different sources, but it is much faster, less delay, and you don't have to be very I have to get a very fast internet, etc. Now, architecture of fog. The basic design of fog architecture, or the key components of the fog architecture, are heterogeneous physical resources and fog abstraction layer. Heterogeneous physical resources, as we discussed earlier, ranging from high-speed links connecting enterprise data center and the core to multiple wireless access technologies towards the edge like 3G, 4G, LTE, Wi-Fi, etc. And it can be connected to all this, and all also platforms can be connected to all other platforms, etc. Fog abstraction layer, a uniform and programmable interface of seamless resource management and control. Is a layer where we can manage and control fog, what it should do and what it should not do, what decisions to make and what not to make, and when to go to the cloud and when not to go to the cloud, etc. This type of decisions. Now we come to applications, real-time examples. Connected cars. Fog computing is ideal for connected vehicles because the real-time interactions will make communication between cars, access points, and traffic lights are safe. So it also make your traffic less congested. For example, there is an accident. Other connect devices connected with the fog will say, don't go there is a traffic, go to the other places, and there is an alternate route to go, so the less congestion, less traffic, all traffic problems will be occurred. Smart grids. Fog computing allows fast machine-to-machine handshakes and human-machine interactions (HMI), which would work in cooperation with the cloud. Smart grids, and we know it is used heavily for producing power, electricity. Smart cities. Fog computing would be able to obtain sensor data on all levels and integrate all mutually independent network entities within. And last example, healthcare. The cloud computing market for healthcare is expected to reach 5.4 billion by 2017, according to the market and markets report, and fog computing would allow this on a more localized manner. So in the end, we draw a conclusion. What fog do? It provides faster processing, more security, less congestion, and low cost, so that everyone and anyone can use fog. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz.